Hi, welcome to Make It Funny, where I take your suggestions and I make them funny. If you'd like to leave a suggestion, put it in the comments. Today's suggestion comes from Elvord Industrial, whose suggestion was, can you make meeting the love of your life on a train funny? Particularly the red line, or the red line, for instance, I think is what he said. Okay. Well, I'm not psychic, but I know how things happen. So I'm going to tell you, Elvord, how this happened. So for starters, you said the red line, which means probably Chicago, which means you probably were around a Cubs game. So that means that you were on the red line, and you're on a crowded red line with a bunch of drunk idiot Cubs fans, and you're not one of them because you're listening to me, so you got to be a little smarter. But anyway, bunch of drunken rowdy Cubs fans. You're on the red line, and you look across the cabin and see the most beautiful woman you have ever seen. But you're kind of shy, Elvord, so you just keep your distance. In fact, you've noticed her a couple of times, to be honest. But today was your lucky day, because right as you're just about to do what you always do, put your headphones on, some drunk fan throws up all over this beautiful woman. And you, being the kind of person who has handkerchiefs, that's the kind of guy you are, Elvord, you rush to her aid and use your handkerchief to wipe the puke off of her shoulder, to which she's thankful. But, you don't want to push things, so yeah, she says thank you. You go back to where you were. She stays where she is. But wouldn't you know it, another drunk fan this time throws up all over her other shoulder. And luckily for you, Elvord, you're the type of guy who buys things in preparation, so you had just bought a 6-pack of handkerchiefs, and now you're well prepared for what is happening. You go back over to the woman of your dreams, and you pull out yet another handkerchief, and you start mopping up the puke off her other shoulder. And you realize at this point, you can make a move. So you're wiping poop off her, not poop, you're wiping puke off her shoulder, and you say, so, we meet again. To which she replies, yeah, unfortunately, you're the only guy who's also, nice enough to help me, but also who has handkerchiefs. You're like somebody who drives a stick shift car. You just don't find that anymore. Anyway, you pull out a third handkerchief because you bought the 6-pack, and you're wiping it up, and you say, so, do you, your boyfriend's probably going to be mad about this. And she said, I don't have a boyfriend. To which you smiled. In your head, you smile. Right now, you're playing it cool, Elvord. So you're wiping it off, and then she says, well, I appreciate it. And I could tell by your line of questioning that you maybe think this is more than what it is. Let's just cut to the chase, Elvord. You were just helping me clean some puke that some drunk Cubs fans put on me. Let's not get crazy. To which you walk away kind of dumbfounded, like, oh. But then you remember taking your psychology class over at UIC. Women often say the opposite of what they mean. So you're about to head back. She doesn't really mean no is what you're thinking in your head. And also you have this policy, like you don't apply that when it comes to sex, just in this circumstance. But before you have time to act, a different Cubs fan, drunk and rowdy, sprays feces all over the love of your life. This drunk Cubs fan bent over thinking it would be funny to moon the woman of your dreams, and instead, because he's so drunk he'd been drinking since 9 a.m., poop just came out of his butt all over the woman of your dreams. And now here's where it really comes in handy. Not only are you a handkerchief man, Elvord, you also were about to clean your apartment, and so you just happen to have a bunch of cleaning supplies on you. So now you walk back over to the woman of your dreams, who at this point is thankful. In her head, she's like, I know I kind of sent this guy away from me, but man, I've never been happier to see you, Elvord. And now you're pulling out all sorts of sprays and all sorts of rags and all sorts of stuff that you have to help clean the feces off who would now become the love of your life. And so you're saying things like, well, this is embarrassing, and then the humor starts. Right now you do it's obvious you guys like each other, so now comes the joking, and you're like, well, this is embarrassing, and she's like, well, I'm the one covered in shit. And so both of you guys chuckle, and then you say, hey, just let me know if I'm getting too close to your crotch. I don't want to. Hey, and also, I'm not the type of guy who uses the word crotch. I mean, I have handkerchiefs, for God's sakes. I don't know why I said that. I'm nervous. I'm nervous because you're so pretty. And she, covered in puke and crap, gives you the biggest of smiles. And you know that this will be a story that you'll be telling your grandchildren one day. And also a story that David Dravnak will be telling. Because the truth is, folks, I know Elvord. He told me this story already. This is exactly how it happened. I'm not psychic. Me and Elvord, we go way back. I mean, obviously, we're both from Chicago. He's riding the red line and all that. So, sorry, Elvord, I spilled the beans. Also, if you really need industrial lighting, go to Elvord Industrial.